Some news coming in from Tamil Nadu, and two people have been killed during Jallikattu in Sivaganga. That's the taming of the bull that is celebrated during Pongal, and a minor boy is among the two who have been killed. They were spectators, according to the reports, and they were gored to death by the bulls. Let's go across to Sam Daniel for more. Sam, first give us details of what exactly happened.
Gargi, what we understand from police is that this happened at the Siravayal Jallikattu in southern Tamil Nadu near Madurai, a district called Sivaganga, where these two spectators, including a 12-year-old boy, were gored to death by bulls, not during the Jallikattu run, but after the run outside the arena when these bulls were to be collected by the bull owners. At that point, they say these bulls ran helter-skelter, and the two people who were gathered there, among other people, were gored to death by two different bulls. And at the moment, they say 186 bulls have registered for this Jallikattu event. The event is still underway, but the tragedy certainly raises questions on the safety measures in place, because according to the Supreme Court guidelines, the authorities ought to ensure safety of the bulls and safety of spectators. Particularly, they want double barricading of the entire arena, and also measures to be put in place to avoid these bulls that run for Jallikattu don't lose control and run helter-skelter, charging on the spectators. And certainly lapses at least appear outside the arena. We'll have to wait for the investigation report what exactly went wrong. But certainly, prima facie, many say questions are being raised about the execution of the clear guidelines given by the Supreme Court earlier. And as we speak now, there are several other Jallikattu events happening, including the one at Alanganallur, the main event which is being seen as the capital of Jallikattu, or the Taming the Bull festival. Till a little while earlier, authorities confirmed at least 5 people have injured there, but their condition is quite fine. They're not critically injured, and this is a season for these bulls to be tamed. It's again the argument over tradition versus cruelty to animals continue this time as well. Many pointing out that besides endangering public safety, questions are also raised about cruelty inflicted on these animals in terms of pulling them by the tail, or more than one individual trying to cling on to the hump of these animals in a bid to tame them, to win big prizes like motorbikes or even gold coins and cars in some cases. More details are awaited, but at the moment we can confirm 2 people, including a minor boy, have been gored to death in one of the Jallikattu events at Sivaganga district.
Right, and Sam, as we're seeing visuals of the actual Jallikattu event that happens, and how people try to grab the bull and get injured. Every year you report on how people have been injured there. But important to point out that this particular incident that's happened, in which 2 people have been killed, it wasn't during the event, as Sam was telling us, but post the event, as the bulls were being taken away, Sam. And we also know, as you said, the bulls get very agitated during the event. This is something that animal activists have also pointed out, the cruelty. Earlier there were reports of chili powder being used, etc. All that hopefully does not happen now, ever since the Supreme Court had said that animals must be treated well as well. But this sort of situation, this is something that happened after the event was over, but when one can imagine if the bull was agitated, that it ran amok in the crowd post the event.
That's right. This was not during the event on the arena where people gather, but this is certainly after the run, after the bull completes the stretch of the runway area where bull tamers try to tame. And certainly the guidelines clearly say, besides the arena, safety measures ought to be put in place even outside till the owners collect these bulls. But certainly many questions are being raised about lapses, whether there were areas patches without this kind of double barricading where people gathered and they were targeted by these bulls, which at that point in time will be fully charged, they'll be going through a severe stress and trauma because for several hours they're kept locked up in another enclosure, and then they face hundreds of people with dozens of tamers trying to tame them or pounce on them, and then they run to the end of the arena, and then that's the point where the owners try to use their ropes and try to try these bulls. And at the moment it appears things went wrong at that point where people were still gathered there where there was no barricading, and that's how the bulls were able to charge them or pounce them and they were go to death, Gargi. And as you said, yes, there were several forms of cruelty inflicted on these bulls years ago, including intoxication, including lemon juice being squeezed on the eyes to turn them more ferocious so that they don't get caught by these bull tamers. Over the years, although strict monitoring is in place in terms of ensuring bull safety and also ensuring not every bull tamer is led to tame these animals, many point out the intensity has come down, but certainly several other forms of torture or cruelty continue, and they also point out besides physical torture we should also take into account the mental trauma these bulls have to go through, particularly during this season of Pongal over the next few months till this comes to an end.
All right, Sam, thanks so much for joining us.